In today's video, we're going to talk about the energies at play in February, the month of February of 2023. I would recommend that you relax, you sit down, or if you're walking or listening, you walk calmly and try to connect with the energy. Don't try to remember every word I'm saying, just feel. And the message will enter your cells and you will know exactly what to do this month. You will recognize the patterns that come on your path. You will see the different choices you have. And hopefully, if you really manage to connect with yourself and through that, listening to what I have to share, you'll have an amazing month. So let's dive into this. Like, subscribe, and share. Hi, my name is Lot. In today's video, I'm going to share my view on February of the year 2023. Before we start, I always recommend you to stay hydrated. It's really important. Even if it's winter and you think, it's not warm, I'm not sweating. No, it's important to stay hydrated because that helps to cleanse the body from the toxins that we accumulate. One of the reasons people have headaches is because they are not enough hydrated. So you may feel that still things are not great in your life, not great in the world. But this month you can take a step that will determine the rise of the quality of your life. So just bear with me in this video. Just sit peacefully, feel, and sometimes pause to let things sink in or to realize how this applies to you. You won't be disappointed. So, let's dive into this. The past few years have been interesting. Maybe that's an understatement for you. Well, I try not to judge. I used to judge a lot. And one of the first things I recommend is to judge less. Both yourself and the outside world. Whether it's being politics, whether it's being people close to you, people more on a distance, your partner maybe, your actions, the situation you are in. I recommend you to start observing your world, your life, and even yourself more from a distance. We have been raised to judge a lot, and that leads to many problems. Most conflicts in the world are based on judgments, not understanding, not compassion, not harmony, not unification. It's separation, it's division, it's judgment, it's pointing fingers. And the fate of humanity at this moment will be determined by our ability to judge less, to come together, to join forces through the heart, not through the mind, for good, not for greed or for power. So let this sink in for a moment. Take a moment to feel where in your life you are judging. And if it's something you judge outside of you, See what do you recognize within yourself from this. If you're judging corruption, see where you are corrupt. And when I say you are corrupt, I don't mean that you are stealing money, but maybe you are not being honest with yourself about what your needs are, about what feels good for you. Maybe you're trying to comply with the rest of society, or with how things are at work, or with what your partner is expecting from you, or your family, but it's not what you feel is your truth. If you're not following that, then that is a form of corruption. I believe this is a challenging one, right? Well, I had to go through that myself. And I still have to go through it. I'm still going through it, actually. Seeing where did I not truly listen to what my soul wants. And for those who are into the gene keys and know the gene keys pulse, well, this is very connected to the 12th gene key. Moving on to the next part, which is, as usual, connected to the first part. So when we start listening to what our true needs are, when we start discovering who we truly are, which is often very different from what we've been told we are or we're supposed to be, whether it's by our parents, family in general, teachers, friends, co-workers. So if we start doing this, if we start paying attention to who we truly are, even if it's just being by ourselves and not sharing it with anyone, but just taking a moment, or actually taking multiple moments, because it's not a 2-minute thing, to really feel what our truth is. And then, when we start implementing it, when we start acting the way we truly are, and we probably start first by reacting to the difference, trying to fight it. But if we do it from the heart, and we just decide from a point of love for ourselves and even for the world around us, even if the world around us wants us to be black and we want to be pink, we feel we are pink, then doing it from a point of love will smooth and ease the transition. And of course, some people will not like it, will judge us, maybe even walk away or cast us away. But others will come to us. And as I said many times before, if people leave your life, they're creating space for new people to come into your life. People who are more aligned with who you are today, or even with who you are becoming. When I started my journey of self-discovery, of healing my wounds, many people left my life. Actually, the majority of the people that were in my life before or up until 2005, and even a little bit before that, left my life. There's almost nobody left from those people. Did it hurt at the time? Sometimes yes. Was it a relief? Many times yes. And today I'm really happy, because over the years new people came in my life. And many of those, because I kept changing, I kept growing, I kept evolving, many of those also left again. And then again new people came. And this is a cycle of life. If you're evolving, if everything stays the same, it means you're not growing. Basically, you're staying in second grade and you never go to third grade or fourth, fifth. Is that what you want to be? Is that how you want to be? Just because people don't like change, people around you don't like change? Or is it because you're afraid of something new? Yeah. Mala, stop being afraid of the unknown. Because I would not want to go back to 2004, 2003, 2002. No way. To how I was, to the people I had then. No. No fucking way. No, no, no. Not even back to 2016 or 17. Not even back to 2020. Okay, maybe that's a bad example. Most people didn't like 2020, nor 2021, and not even 2022. But you get the point. And I had several moments where I felt a rebirth, where I had accumulated a lot of experience, a lot of life lessons, and reached a point and then puff, something anchored, a change happened. Or a curtain moved away and I saw a new reality and I could step into it, and then I had to adapt again. I have been adapting many times to the changes, to my reality, to the world around me. Because me changing on the inside, I have to adapt to that too. And then the world around me is changing. And those who have been watching my videos and follow me for a while, they know that I made big changes in my life. Some changes were a turn of 180 degrees in certain areas of my life. And I do not judge who I was before, I just observe. And it's all these changes that actually help me to work with people. Why do people enjoy working with me? Because I do not judge them. Because I can see their potential in most cases. And I see where they stand today. And because I myself went through so many changes, and was for a long time not happy with who I was, I will not judge them. Instead, I guide them so that they can make the changes that they want to make. And it's amazing to see people evolving. And from time to time I sit down and I look back. I look at where I stand today and I look back at where I came from and how the changes happen, and I'm happy too. Jinky 49. Many people say they want change, but when they're asked to be the change, they disappear, they run away, they're silent. There's this amazing picture where there's this guy who says, "Who wants change?" And everyone, "Yay! Who wants to change?" They're all gone. Do you recognize that? Maybe you recognize a specific situation in your life where there was a possibility and you simply run away. So, well, when you have these deep desires that come to the surface and start to really annoy us, we want something, then it becomes an ego thing. And the mind gets involved and things get messy. Not Leona messy. But if we take it easy, if we take a break, if we take a breath, let's take one now. Just breathe for a moment. Take a deep breath. If we start by taking things with a little bit less of seriousness, a little bit more of fresh air, if you lighten up, then the true transformation can happen. If you look around, you see a lot of people who are constantly like, bloody serious, getting upset about everything that's not going exactly as what they expected, and lighten up. And you also do see some people are always relaxed. They don't worry too much. They laugh about what's happening. Not that they laugh in a condescending way. No, they just laugh about it. It happens. As an observer, things can be funny. I mean, things can happen in your life, but when you see them in a movie, you start laughing. Like, ha ha ha! It's funny. Because it's not about you, so suddenly you don't take it so seriously anymore. So try zooming out sometimes and observe yourself and your situation and all the agitation and see if it's really worth all the stress. Maybe it's not. Maybe if you would just loosen up, things would go much smoother. And that gigantic problem suddenly becomes clear that it's not such big of a problem. Chinky 30. A trend that we also see a lot now is victimization. And I would like you to take a moment to feel where in your life you feel you are a victim, or who in your life you see as a victim. So, does it help you in any way to stay in the victimhood? I'm not saying that you do not have the right to feel bad about what happened to you. But does it help you to stay in that energy for a long period of time? I'm working with refugees. I've been working with refugees now for 6-7 months. And what I've seen is that many of them, actually most of those who came to my workshops, are not playing victim. They didn't stay in the victimhood. They started to step out of it. Some fully stepped out of it. So these are Ukrainian refugees. So they fled their country. They left behind often their husbands, who were not allowed to leave the country unless they had more than 3 children, or they were old enough, or they bribed somebody at the border for 3,000 euros or dollars or even more. But the majority of them started to pick up their lives again. For some, it was even freedom that they really experienced for the first time in a very, very, very long time. Because they could start over here. They took the opportunities that came on their path. They could stay at home and just complain about, oh, it's so bad. It's also bad what's happening. Oh, bad people are attacking us. Bad people. And we are victims. Oh, please help me. Or, and what they did actually, they did the other thing. They started looking at what they can do now. What are the opportunities that came on their path? And so many of them started working as a volunteer or even paid work, started helping other people. Many of them started learning new things, educating themselves. And so basically they transformed their lives. They stepped out of the victimhood. After they had their period, of course, of feeling bad, of dealing with it, processing it. And in some cases, they're still dealing with it. But many chose not to stand still in life. And they're experiencing freedom. And the more they keep doing, the more they keep walking forward, the more freedom, the higher levels of freedom they're starting to experience. So it's a choice how your life goes. Because in every situation you choose what you do with what you have and where you are. Chinky 55. And the last part is how do I describe this one? It's connected to the previous one, of course. When you're in the victimhood, you feel weak. And when you focus on feeling weak or on your weaknesses, you're stuck. So if instead you focus on what you can do, where your strengths are, then the sky is the limit. Then you will start to see opportunities, possibilities. Also, when this is your focus, your energy changes, your vibration rises. And so you will start to attract different kind of people. You will start to attract different kind of interaction with people, different behavior for people. People will start to support you. Other people who are also into building, into moving forward, maybe into helping people who really want to move forward, not people who just want to they feel bad. You will start to attract this kind of people. And before you know it, life starts to do this. And you don't need to be a refugee to do this. You don't need to be at the lowest point in your life to do this. You can do this at any point in your life. And we all have things that we're not so happy about, that we want to change, that we don't like, let's say it this way. I'm not saying that we hate per se, but that we don't like. So changing our focus, changing our mentality will help us raise the quality of our lives. And once we start to go up, the chance that we will go down again gets smaller and smaller. Even if we go down a little bit, but we would not go down back to where we were. The going down would be still a level higher. And even if sometimes we really get thrown back all the way down to the bottom of the pit, and we still have all that experience from everything that we have done, and then we can get out of that pit much faster, and we will rise much higher than before. In a different way probably, because we do not need to repeat what we did before, because we changed already. We are constantly changing. But the important part here is that you do things with love, from your heart. Focus on what you want instead of focusing on what you do not want. If you have questions, please contact me. If you need help, do the smart thing. Prove to yourself that you're a strong person, because only smart and strong people do ask for help. And if you look at all the successful people in the world, they all had help. They all asked for help. They all had at least a mentor or a coach at each point in their lives where they made changes. It's only the stupid people who don't ask for help because they think they know everything. I wish you a beautiful month and see you in the next video. Like, subscribe and share.